Well, thanks, Coccoioletti. I won't be getting 1 hour and 50 minutes of my life back. Roll intro.
Starflight 1, a supersonic aircraft whose maiden voyage becomes a horrifying odyssey.
We're an airplane, not a spaceship. For all intents and purposes, this is an aircraft that has already crashed.
People trapped in orbit, while Earth's top experts team up to try the impossible.
It's one chance in a million.
Lee Majors, Lauren Hutton, Hal Linden, Ray Milland, and Tess Harper hold a one-way ticket to terror in Starflight 1.
Free. Hello and welcome to another episode of It Could Have Been a Classic. Well, this is a bit of a disappointment, this one. I'm never going to get the time back I lost spared on this one. I was bored stiff. Starflight 1, the plane that couldn't land. I mean, come on, Now, from the poster, it looks impressive. It looks really impressive. Shuttling out of space, big suborbital jet that can get to Australia in 2 hours. And it ends up being a fucking melodrama. I'm being serious. I was bored stiff. And I sat watching it. It's like, and I mean, you've got an amazing cast in this. You've got Lee Majors, Hal Linden, who's a good actor, Lorraine Hutton, who's a babe, Ray Milland, Gail Strickland, and George DeCenzo, Tess Harper, and Teddy Kiser. Now, most of these are like afternoon type movie actors. A lot of them in this. Them films you get in the afternoon. On Channel 5. And you remember the afternoon movies? Well, this is one of them, and I just sat there. So let's get into the plot first, right? Starflight 1, the first hypersonic transport, is being prepared for media coverage. Inaugural flights from Los Angeles to Sydney, Australia. A planned 2-hour flight on board are the pilot Cody Briggs. I've always got these amazing names like Cody Briggs. Lee Majors cheating on his wife, having it off behind his wife's back. Poor old Tess Harper with media relations to Thornwell Aviation. And he's at it with Lorraine Hutton's character. Married to an uncle, she won the trip on TV, but only interested in getting his stolen gold out of the country. I mean, there's all this going on, right? So you've got her that's nicking the gold, right? The greedy millionaire whose fault it is all this starts because he's invested all his millions into this satellite launch, but they won't launch the satellite. But he tells this Australian guy, launch the bloody missile, the rocket into space, or I'll lose everything. So they launch the rocket. Starflight 1 fucks off into orbit, and guess what? The rocket gets destroyed because NASA orders it blown up because its launch systems have gone wrong. Load of space debris. Starflight 1 is shooting up at 4,000 miles an hour, gets hit by some rocket debris, ends up in space 85 miles up, and then it's all like one big melodrama. Then we get back down to Earth, and it's full of greedy billionaire types, and Sayori from Battlestar Galactica, he's playing this he's always playing like the bald-headed fella. He's playing like the billionaire industrialist, and he's saying, well, he needs his competitor to send a fucking rocket thing up there to save it, to bring it back down to Earth. I mean, this absolutely bored me. I mean, Lee Majors like a wet sack in this. I was really upset because, after that last chase the other week, and, I thought, are we having a bit of competition between Lee Majors and Burgess Meredith? But obviously he's not in this. Maybe he might have saved it. So, they're up in space. Everybody's got emotional problems and fears, and they're all up to stuff. And it's, do you want to see a clip? You want to see a clip, don't you? I thought you would. Right, let's get into the excitement of Starflight 1.
Andy. Whatever happened to us?
Is it so bad? Nice house, out of the smog.
And a husband who spends all of his time in the sky, even when he's here. What do you think about when you're up there, Cody?
Oh, I don't know. Wars I've been in, presidents I've flown, people I love.
Do I fit in that last category, Cody?
Not today, Janet, please.
Yes, but tonight.
So, like, they send up a shuttle, right? And I mean, shuttle, first time there's like an attempt, there's something fucking happens on Starflight 1. They lose some air. There's a breach, right? So, like, shuttle got up there in 5 minutes, and then they come out with this idea to transport one of them in the ambassador's coffin, you know. And so they transport his body in a coffin to shuttle, because this scientist guy who built Starflight 1 take him over there. And he had a leaking coffin, and there's this intense music. And when he gets out, he's like, I stuck my finger in it. Oh, just fuck off, right? So then we're back on the ship, and there's more emotional drama going on. There's like an ex-astronaut or pilot or whatever. They need him to do something, and he won't do something because he's like, he's got issues. You've got the scared kid, you've got the vicar on board. I mean, you've got them all, basically. Do you remember Airport? You remember they made them films where it well, like everybody had a big melodrama. Well, this is it. I mean, you trust me, you would not want to be on a plane with this lot. And Lee Majors, well, he's just been fucking Lee Majors, basically. So there's like a saying, I mean, an hour and 50 minutes of this, and I sat there and I was like, please fucking finish. So anyway, the shuttle fucks off back to Earth and it comes back up, and then they put this tunnel across. A load of arson about. I think that gets hit by debris. And then that fucks off back to Earth. And they come up with another plan, and all rich people are arguing over it. And then there's millions of dollars in gold bars floating around fucking window. Because it's all been smuggled apart. I mean, honestly, it just gets fucking worse, right? So they come up with this like airbrained idea that the shuttle comes up again, or they get some retro rocket, and what they're going to do, they plug it in because it comes from another corporation, and they follow the shuttle down, and it's like they follow it down, and that's it. It finishes. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that's it.
Angle of ascent 45 degrees.
Any problems?
We're still tracking, but it could come close to the HST's flight plan.
Josh is halfway to Columbia now.
All right?
There was a leak.
What did you do?
Remember the story of the little Dutch boy in the dike?
It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
They're like, they get him down like in this insane fucking film, right? That bored me to death for 2 hours. I mean, totally taken in by the post. I thought, oh, this is Lee Majors. It's looks interesting. Space shuttles. Now, John Dykstra, who's worked on a lot of big special effects, did the stuff for this. But there is a lot of stock footage of NASA and all that. I mean, it's a cheap and nasty fucking movie. It's terrible. Even you've got all that. I think that money went on the cast. This has been one of the worst films I've had to sit through. Now, is there anything in this film? And now I'm just going to go over the reviews. Reception. New York Times said Starflight, the plane that couldn't land, please fucking don't land, was still another reworking of the escapist adventure stuff that proved so popular in the film Airport. A later review by Dave Sindelar noted that the film was a cross between Marooned and the Airport movies. It also relied heavily on stock NASA footage, so it's determined. Also, Starflight, the plane that fucking shouldn't have landed, was slowly moving, mired by disaster movie style cliches and implausible, and has plenty of dead spots. Like Poseidon Adventure. Remember fucking Earthquake and all that? Where they're all going on about the marriage, and meanwhile the world's falling apart, but there's they make up with each other. I mean, I just can't go through this anymore. I cannot go through this film anymore. So the question is, could Starflight, one, the thing that came back, unfortunately, is it a classic? No, you failed, and you know where you're going. You can Starflight right up your ass and down the toilet of eternity.